switch up quick, boy. It's something, ding, 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 something. Anything. Anything. That's all I remember from the song. Oh, yeah. Is it the same thing? Man, don't do me that. Go back to the next one and let me hear the next one. Let me test your skills this morning. Okay, let me see. And through the fire, through the pain, through the heartache and the pain, we will survive. We will survive. You know, no matter what you're doing this morning, you have to have some fun. Okay, so Dave, hold on a second there, right? Hold on. Let me put a couple things in place first. So for those, you see how he does really mess up my head in the morning. So for those folks who are just joining us, you did not get to hear the Thursday drama. We were gonna take you up until 9:30 this morning, or 9:25, 9:25, right? So we got 25 minutes to continue discussing, to continue sharing the other comments and the other WhatsApp messages. So I will open the lines in about 2 minutes. Just give me a minute and some. All right. So the story goes as follows. I'm 27, male, and I managed so far to make a good name for myself. I was told by my mother that for 25 years of my life that my father never contributed to my upbringing and never called to check in on how I was doing. I've never spoken to him until now. I know that he left my mother after they broke up and started a family with another woman in another community in St. Vincent. I know that the other woman has children and they aren't his, and he takes care of them. He has a good job too, but for years I've had to deal with the fact that he was able to take care of another man's child and left me here to struggle. He wants to reconnect, but I don't want to, although I have some questions. Should I talk to him?
The views expressed here on a Thursday are not necessarily a true representation of ours. We're only here for the drama.
All right, so you can call us now. 457-1043. The lines are open. Did I take 2 minutes? Wonderful. See, I stick to my word. I stick to my word. All right, some more responses coming in from the WhatsApp. Okay. Good morning, Crystal. Big up to Extreme for being on the cutting edge of highlighting some of the social ills and issues that have been occurring in our community that have been swept under the rug for decades. Too often we hear of men abandoning their children because they and the mothers broke up, then they leave and go take care of other people's children and don't give a damn if their children suffer. If I was him, I wouldn't want anything to do with that father. Seriously. I'm a man, and no matter what, my children are my first priority. Some of us men know how it feels not having a father in our lives, and we turn around and do the same to our children. We have to break this generational curse. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Dave. How are you?
Good to hear you. You seem very... I see you fighting up with domestic problems in our country. Vincy and the Grenadines. Extended throughout the Caribbean. I think it's the same kind of lifestyle.
It's not a global thing.
Well,
men all over the world, quote unquote, dropping seed and running.
You know, I really don't find time now to
drop seed.
Respond.
Good.
Right?
Nothing. Go ahead.
To respond to these stories, dramatic as they might sound and all of that. This has come like an everyday thing. It's become the norm. This is an age-old problem. What you're dealing with, our domestic situation. Pig in a bag, man butting woman, woman butting man, and all of that. I mean, I have lived too long. Discussions after discussions have come up with these things. Where do we draw the line?
Okay,
I have to ask myself, as someone who is experienced, who would have had my flings, who would have had my different relationships. And I did some of these things because I wanted to know for myself, what it's all about. Some of the things I would have done. It has reached a stage now where I don't think people think about what is wrong and what is right.
Mm-hmm.
All goes. You wonder why we have man and man getting married, woman and woman getting married. This wasn't heard of in my growing up time. This isn't heard of. This is nothing to be talked about, or, when I mean, I can't remember how young I was, how old I was when I first heard about gays and lesbians and all these kind of. And to me, it's not going to get better. I mean, for years, this has been a talk, it has been a concern, and it will continue until thy kingdom come. I believe there's got to be some catastrophic, some tragic or whatever situation before we can get ourselves together or to appreciate what is right from what is wrong. And that is where we are failing. Some of us are bare-faced, bold-faced, brass-faced. We know things are wrong. We know what is right,
Mm-hmm.
and we know what is wrong, but we still participate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where's that power that
self-control
should overcome all these things?
Oh, oh, conscience.
I hope, I don't come on the radio to talk shopping. So when I hear shopping is something, I could get vexed and behave like some people who believe, that they have the answers for everything. I can do that. But I'm too young now to make myself look like a puppy show or look like somebody who don't understand what is happening in the world. So good luck. I love your dealing with this topic, and I would just listen and hear some of the ignorance that is coming out from these things, because when you cuss me and I cuss you and you back talk me and I back talk you, what good can we get out of all of this?
Mm-hmm.
Have a good day, my girl.
Same to you. Same to you. Same to my girl. My girl. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sister.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
The young man say he have question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looking for answers.
Mm-hmm.
He have a good relationship with his mother. I think he need to ask the mother the questions, get her answers, and then ask the father his questions and get all his answers. Because he's 27. He could put both sides together and come up with the answer. Because there's her side and his side, and there's the truth. But who's going to speak the truth? So I think he needs to ask both of them the question, get his answer, and I think he needs to build a relationship with his father. It don't matter. It ain't too late.
Mm-hmm.
A father could give you advice. He already have the experience. He leave you, but there's things that he can still teach you. So I would tell him, you know what, ask both of them the questions, and then he has a responsibility to come up with some answers. Put them together. Get the best out of the two sides, and then he will come up with the answers. And build a relationship from there with both parents.
Okay.
They're already his parents. Fingers think you can't cut it off now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, all right.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. If you want to call us to join us, 457-1043. If you're overseas, 784 before. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Not sure what happened there. All right. Try again. Please replace the handset and try again. All right, some more responses. This one is coming in via voice note. All right, so if there's a call coming in at the same time I'm playing, I'm not going to take the call until after. Okay.
Morning, Christian. If
morning.
that guy is looking for answer, I would advise him to talk to his father and get his answers. But to me, that is as far as you go. It's not like he even migrated or something like that. He's right there in St. Vincent. You haven't done him anything. Whatever, if there was a problem with your mom and him, that is their problem. That wasn't your problem. No matter what the situation is, as a father, he was supposed to be there for you. And any man who decided that they're gonna be with somebody else, take care of that person's kids, and he have his own biological kid and do not take care of them, whether it is his choice or the lady that he's with um, force him or talk to him about not doing it. If that's the case, he is nothing but a fool. He is nothing but a fool. How can you ignore your biological child because you and the mother is not together to take care of somebody else's child? Every time you look at that child that you buying whatever you are buying and putting food in the mouth, every evening, every morning, you watch that child that is not yours eat and drink, and you don't think about your own child. You have no heart for your own child, then you are no good. So therefore, if it's me and this guy, I do not want him in my life, but I would want to find out why. If there's a situation like that, and his family, my aunts and my uncles, if there's any family, yeah, I would deal with them. They're my family. I'm not disowning him as a father, but he disowned me as a father. So therefore, when I become a man, I am a man now and I can take care of myself. I do not need him. Like you said, you need answers. Talk to him and get your answers, and forget about the guy.
Wow. Now, remember, this morning's mission, right, is to get some responses and some advice for the gentleman. And the question that I wanted to pull out from the story here was, why do some men leave their own biological children, start a new family, and take care of children that do not biologically belong to them? All right. Somebody says, Crystal, some of them don't mind them, but as soon as their kids get big and doing good, they like to talk about big daughter and big son. That's why I would mess him up in public. I'm going up with the responses, all right? Good morning, my extreme family. I'm not against the comments being made, but up to now, no one is giving advice. My advice to him is that he has a conversation with him and find a place in his heart to forgive him. It's not easy to be in that situation, but please give him an air. Have a blessed day, everyone, and stay safe. Good morning. Let me see who this is. Good morning, Secret. Secret says, good morning, Crystal. Great topic. Good morning to DJ Q. Big up yourself this morning. And Crystal, let's talk about generational curses and breaking the cycle. A very high percentage of abandoned kids grow up to be either single mothers themselves, and the guys end up with a lot of fatherless children, perpetrating the same exact toxic narrative. Good point. Good point. Oh, this one here, long boy. All right, so let's go. Morning. Women say they want equality, but as soon as they get pregnant, ain't working. Let me make sure I'm reading the right thing. Okay, I'm trying to pull out from this here, but it's slightly off topic. But I'm thinking the person is saying that in some cases where the men leave or abandon the children is because of the woman. Some women, as soon as they get pregnant and working, they want to suck all the money from the man and control the man and talk about the child. Plus cases where the woman have another child. How is the woman held accountable of spending the money on his child? Sounds like a different thing for a different day. And when the men don't meet the request of this woman, they automatically become waste men. Okay, this is something else. Something else, all right? This sounds like next week drama. Next week kind of drama. Thank you very much for that one from next week. Morning, Crystal. Big up to Evans and Uncle Sauce. Some fathers Waste man. Some more responses coming in. Chicky, come on, man. Come on, don't do that. All right, let's go.
Boy, for me, like, he stay where he did. He never been there from beginning. Even if you're the mother vex and he move on, right? 5 years down the line, you want to tell me you know where school his child going? 10 years down the line, you want to tell me you don't see and hear about the youth and know where he located or anything? So he could have visited him whether after hours or wherever. You understand me? Once it's your seed, you're supposed to grateful seeing and knowing your seed. If you ain't doing that part during the first 10 years of a child life, it ain't make sense you come for going the rest of the child life because you're just going to leave the child always thinking and wondering and feel like it's the way how life go and he might want to do the same with his kid when he have a child. But I feel he should just let do that. The scouty life, grandfather, all of them, because all of them should be there. Grandfather, everybody should have done being there looking for their grandchild as well too. So I feel you should just stay by yourself and keep them out for his life.
All right. Let me go to Facebook and read out some of the responses coming in from over there. I can't pronounce this thing here. But good morning, Sim Sim. He should at least talk to the father to get an explanation for his actions. Ultimately, it is up to him if he wants to develop a relationship with the father. Somebody says, I think the caller is right. This is in response to when our friend shared, when our friend said that he should talk to the mother, ask the mother some questions, ask the father some questions, and then come up with his own interpretation and decide going forward. All right. When I was pregnant with my first child, the father of my child mother sent him to Trinidad and Tobago. When I had my son, my mother took the child to see his grandparents. Up to this day, my son can't see his father. He's in Trinidad, now married, and on Facebook posting pictures every day and can't call his son. And it's our first child. Oh, Lord have mercy. Most fathers in this country keep on leaving ladies when kids are involved, and go and be with someone else and maintain the other lady's children and left his own kid or children to struggle taking care of another man's children and don't even know if they're eating or drinking or how the mother's taking care of these kids. I think ask him the question them that you have and then stick to your mother because she is the one who has been there for you all your life. Them man out here, when you're in a relationship, it's going good, but by the time a kid or children involved, that the time the man them leaving, the woman them and gone with another woman and take care of them. Now, let me see if I can get something here. Now, there are some other responses along the line of speaking with the father. I'll share what I think. I'll share what I think at the end. Yeah, I have a few minutes. Now, here's some more. I feel he should approach his dad and see what he has today. Good morning, Gary Rumpunch. Let me see what this person has to say here. I didn't get a chance to listen to it before I'm playing it, but it's short. So,
thank you, sir. For sure. Pressure them for sure. Like a wicked.
Yeah, y'all hear that? Pressure them. Then to wicked. Now, here's something else that I picked up that I found rather interesting. My theory about why men hate. My theory about why men hate child support so much isn't about the amount of money. I'm taking it from Twitter. I cannot pronounce Ya Asanta Wiba. Sounds like some African thing. But it's interesting. My theory about why men hate child support so much isn't about the amount of money they spend, but rather because under the patriarchal rules they ascribe to, providing financial support should come with the promise of control. Control they don't have over their exes. Is this a reason why some men refuse to take care of their children and leave them behind, their biological children, and move on to live with other people, take care of other people's children? This is also why so many men abandon their families after a breakup but become providers to new partners and new kids. Because in those new situations, they still have the control they feel that providing material support should guarantee. This is why asking them why they don't file for custody, which would end them having to make payments, always stumps them, because being the primary custodian will not fix their problem, because their problem is a loss of control, not a loss of money. Isn't that interesting? So perhaps some of the reasons, or one of the reasons why men abandon their children is because they no longer have control over the relationship, they no longer have control over the mother of that child. There are some other reasons, right? Let me give my take on it first. I think that the young man should have an in-depth talk with his mother. Hopefully his mother is at a stage in her life that she's comfortable sharing some of the things that are very intimate and close to her. Because I find we in the Caribbean here, we don't like to express feelings at all. I don't know what is, I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from, but we don't like to share deep and intimate thoughts like that. It's not that easy for many Caribbean people, especially Caribbean men. I also think that he should have a talk with his father. But before he has those conversations with both parents, I think he needs to start talking to a therapist, a psychologist, somebody who is able to look at the story from an unbiased perspective and try to help him get over his childhood trauma so that he does not take that on to further in his adult life. Because I suspect that with time he might think about having children and it'll be very terrible, even though he has gotten himself to a very good stage in his life, for him to subconsciously, possibly abandon his own children, even though he would have known what it feels like. Right? Get yourself some therapy. Plenty of men do not believe in therapy. Women too. But plenty of men do not believe in sitting down and talking and expressing themselves and talking about what's inside their heart, their feelings. A lot of men don't like to do that. But if you want to make a positive change, if you want to be better than perhaps the father that abandoned you, you have to talk with a professional. If you are thinking about making that change, healing, you have to talk to somebody. Go to therapy. Ask your father and your mother the questions. Then you decide from there where you want to take your relationship. Something a lot of people, and I'm not discounting the fact that some men real worthless. Some men real worthless. I'm not discounting that at all. The men out there who figure that they don't have control over the woman anymore, so they're going to stop taking care of the child and go and take care of somebody else's children, them they're worthless. Because they know what it takes to be a father. You're fathering somebody else's child and children, and you're not fathering your own. It has to be something with the woman. Has to be something with the woman. Them is the one that wants this. Now, something we don't really touch on a lot. We don't really talk about the reasons some men abandon their children. We're quick to label them as worthless and this and that and terror. But has anyone ever considered that some of these men are actually quite afraid of becoming fathers? some of these men actually went through a lot of childhood trauma and are afraid to pass that on while passing it on to their children. Doesn't really make any sense now, does it? But perhaps some of these men are not ready to be fathers why they abandon their children. I know that came out quite a bit this morning. Perhaps there's a reason, maybe not justifiable, and this is why I think that the child, the 27-year-old guy, should talk to his father to find out what happened in the past and why his father in particular just left him right there and decided to take his money and his care and his love and take it to somebody else's child. All right? Now, here's what I don't want. Or here's what I would say at this point. There are some men who are actually chased away. There are some men, like I said, who are afraid. There are some men who just worthless. There are some men who lose control, so because they're not benefiting from paying child support, they're not benefiting. They're selfish. They're selfish. They're not benefiting from taking care of the other child because they're not in a relationship with that woman. Then they're worthless. Talk with them and find out what that reason is. Men who are listening, you know you have a child. It is not the child's fault. Do something before it is too late. You may not be the best father in the world. Fix yourself. If that's what it's going to take, fix yourself. And then you, as a healthy male individual who could be a healthy role model for the child. Because some cases, some of these children probably better off. Fix yourself. And then try. All right? Some are probably going through a lot of things right now. All right? These same men always wait until these kids or children are big, or wait until they don't have to take care of the children. Wait until they reach big and man and woman. Good morning, Crystal. I was in this situation, but it is a very tough spot. He explained it all to me. It was hard to forgive him, but I did. He got to meet his grandkids and reunite again. So I think that guy should go and talk with his dad and find out what his dad has to say. I was mad, but I did. Here's another thing why I think he should go and talk to his father. He could be carrying on a lot of hate, a lot of questions, a lot of doubt, a lot of worry in his mind. And I think for his own benefit and his own healing, he needs to let go of certain things. In order to let go, I think that you need to find out certain things. And he also needs to forgive his father, even though his father may not deserve it, even though his father may not ask for the forgiveness, he needs to forgive, because forgiving somebody else helps the person who is forgiven, not the person who is being forgiven. All right? So if you want to move on and do better and not continue with this curse, I think part of that healing process should be having that talk and forgiving him. And if you want to tell him, catch your crowd, then that is entirely up to you. But at least get to the point where you can forgive. You don't want to be taking this sort of emotional hit with you throughout your life. All right? The only issue I have with what everyone is saying is calling people like those fathers. They're not fathers. They're not even men. Here's another one. Child support is not about control. His ex-wife or girlfriend, some men are in financial position. And sometimes it's the way his ex attitude is. Some women are very evil. I love my kids and I don't care what it takes. I will support my kids until I die. Sometimes the kids are disrespectful and the mother is not telling the kids that is your father. And you need to be respectful to your father the same as you respect me. Mothers, you may not have a good relationship with the father of your child, but I will never support a mother speaking ill of the other parent, speaking ill of the father in front of that child. Never. I don't think that's something that you should do. And that to me does not signal being a good parent at all. Nope. So coming from a therapist, all right, this is the response here. Let me take the call first. Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yes, this is Kenley Short, Miss John.
Oh, sure. Give me a minute there. I didn't even realize it was 9:30. Give me a minute there, please, huh?
Well, see, you're going to keep anyway to know, right?
Yeah, you can stay right here. Just a couple seconds. Let me wrap this up. All right?
Good morning.
All right, so just hold a second there. All right, we're gonna end this one. We actually have something scheduled for 9:30. My humblest apologies there. We'll be back.